It's online. Yeah, yeah. Peggy. Yeah, Peggy.
One more. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. And like a flat martial art or something might be better.
This
was loosely based on some really cool pictures that you had. Do you know if any of them?
Pretty cool. You know, I gotta go, and I can't say taking this pen. Go for it.
Mr. We better looking back this way. And then one more back this way.
Hey, Damien. Okay. Hey, man. How you doing?
I just wonder, as you look back at this time, what you think you will, remember the most fondly, whether it was someone that you met or something that you got to do or something that, you experienced. What is there anything that particularly you think will stand out to you, starting with Damien?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think especially since I'm kind of coming in so sort of new to the whole process, I grew up obsessing about movies and watching movies, and I've never wanted to do anything else, except for my aborted time as a jazz drummer, and so it's kind of like, in a weird way, I think the best thing about the whole kind of circus that is sort of whether you call it award season or whatever it is that it does give you, at least for that moment, a kind of key to sort of open the door and just actually get to interact with, like, meet people like the people I'm on this panel with, or the people who I meet at, whether it's an event or a screening or whatnot, who are people whose work I've admired for so long and who I've stolen from, and it's like you get to go to the house that you robbed all the furniture from and actually like face the owner in the face, and it's just so, like, I'm still pinching myself every day that kind of, that's the best thing about this, actually, and then a few times they've actually seen your movie, it's like crazy. So it's great.
That's great. Yeah. Rick, what about for you?
Yeah, I like meeting the other filmmakers and the people who, share this obsession with telling stories, in this medium, this crazy thing we're doing. It's really powerful. It means a lot to all of us. So, and we don't all know each other, we're kind of in our own worlds when you're making a movie. So I really welcome anything. Sometimes it's a film festival, you get to meet others, but even less and less now. When I first started, the festivals, everybody went to each other's films. Now they're kind of like junkets. You just do press. It makes you very self-absorbed. I'm really there to see other people's movies and meet other filmmakers, but it's like, no, you're doing interviews all day. You don't get to do it as much. So anything that kind of puts me in contact with people I don't know, who I admire, and that's really wonderful. That's kind of the best part. But I'm just trying to enjoy it. Every little bit. You have to kind of find your moments in it and appreciate it. I've made a lot of movies, so the planets don't always line up, for every movie. So, when it does, you definitely have to kind of, just take it in and appreciate where you find yourself sometimes. So.
Well, what Rick said and Damien is the truth for me too. I really, especially the filmmakers, especially hanging out with directors, I really like it. Mike Nichols said directing is like, how did he put it? He said, directing is like sex. You rarely get to see anyone else do it.
That's true.
He said that pre-internet.
Old school. Yeah.
But getting to hang out with people and, you know, talk, I mean, anyone who gets a film made, period, respect. And having been through it, it's, you know.
I think it's a club that you're a member of, and you don't really realize it until you look in the eyes of other filmmakers. You're like, okay. It's like generals or heads of state. You know, you're kind of like, okay, I know what you've been through. I just met you, but I know where you've been. You know.
I like meeting Damien and seeing that he's got his head screwed on the right way, and I'm excited to see, you know, what he does, and he's so young, and I'm so looking forward to your career. Rick was there at the inception of, you know, my career. I made this documentary called The Cruise, and I got a phone call from Rick, who was, you know, a figure for me because of Slackers. And he said, "Hey man, are you going to come to Austin with The Cruise?" And I said I had no plan on it. And he goes, "Oh, well, you should come because we'll promote it and we'll do a thing." And I did not know him at all. I said, "Okay." And I showed up, and he had arranged press and 2 screenings and a party with no. Why did you do that?
Because I had heard good things about your movie, man, and I have a film society, so that's what we do, man. We love movies.
So hanging out with Rick backstage and talking about
98, right?
That was 98, yeah.
Holy moly! See, in these long-term relationships, I'm just getting to know some people, but the real satisfying filmmakers that you met on your first film, to run into them, to see the careers, to see the ways they go, and to when people you admire, when you feel like they're in their groove doing their thing, and it's a victory for all of us. And I feel that way this year, really, especially. Yeah, there's so many films out there, and I know the filmmakers for a long time, and I'm like, yeah, good for you. You did it.
Any community that shares a common purpose draws strength from each other. And sometimes the beauty contest can project a different kind of feeling, like as if this is a sporting event, as if this is like a political event or something. It's not.
It's so not.
And it's from our perspective, it's not. Maybe for Morton, but but really, we, especially Rick and I, who have been around a little bit and know everybody, it's not like that for anybody. And we are each other's cheerleaders.
All right, and finally,
Laura.
No, I'd echo the same thing. I mean, those are the encounters where you meet people who are, you know, asking tough questions and exploring things artistically and breaking new grounds. And I mean, in the documentary community, there's actually a really wonderful spirit of community in it. I mean, there's a very generous community. There are a lot of people who mentored me and that, and whose work, you know, that I've, you know, that I feel like I'm standing on their shoulders, like the Maisels and D.A. Pennybaker, and you know, and then sort of have documentaries sort of recognized alongside, you know, what's going on in Hollywood is a great thing, and and so it's a wonderful moment to, you know, to I guess celebrate that, and then also to meet people whose work. I mean, The Cruise. I remember seeing it in New York. I love that movie. It's so great to finally meet you, and yeah, no, and so I think it's really meeting. I mean, having those connections that are actually genuine about what makes people tick, and why do they do what they do, and how to celebrate it, because it raises the bar. When one person achieves something, it raises the bar for everyone. And then next year, you know, like I think that's what I love about Boyhood so much. It's like, yeah, take risks, you know? Like don't do the easy thing. Take risks. Make a film. Take 12 years to make a film. And then you see the success that happens. And so I think that just sets a precedent so that when you're trying to argue to get something funded, you can point to that and say, look at that. You know, it's a total underdog to, you know, to have the success it's had. So I think it's a really exciting year to be, you know, having finished a film this year with the films that are you know, being celebrated.
Last but not least,
ditto. I mean, it's the same for all of us. you really find out that directors are really nice people. It's been, you know, it's the biggest pleasure of all of this is to meeting other filmmakers, and to you know, there's this mutual respect, and also I think everybody's cheering for each other, and it's actually been an extraordinary experience.
Directing for me has been a combination of being the master of a three-ring circus, keeping the high-strung performers, seasoned crews, and wild animals, is sometimes the same, healthy, safe, and immensely entertaining. You must also be the four-star general, dealing with misguided politicians, leading your troops into uncertain battle, assuming the worst outcome, and being prepared for anything with multiple contingency plans. Filmmaking is a collaborative effort spearheaded by the director who guides the cast and crew in creating a cohesive visual narrative. Each of the talented individuals with us tonight is being awarded for their exceptional vision, wisdom, and every element of filmmaking, from fast on your feet improvisation to acting, storytelling, camera work, editing, and sound to create an unforgettable dramatic and cinematic experience. I'm proud to present the Outstanding Director of the Year Award to Damien Chazelle. And Richard Linklater. And the extremely glib Bennett Miller. And to my gutsiest actions hero, stud of the earth, Laura Poitras. And last but not least, the foreigner amongst us, Morton Tilden. So, Scott, you got a great team here. Thank you very much. You did a great job. Thank you. Good night, everybody.